Let's talk about notes and synchronizing our notes. There's lots of little pieces of information that we often find ourselves needing. For example, when I take a car into the auto shop and I'm going to get the oil changed, I like to make a note of the mileage and the date and where I went and what services were done. That way I can go back in 6 months or even 3 years later and say, oh, I changed the tires at this mileage and the new tires want this tire pressure. And it just takes me a couple minutes to jot things down, but then I have all these handy notes. And instead of me having to remember the license plate of the car, the VIN number of the car, what brand of tires did we put on in April of 2022, I'll let the computer remember. So I make all these like little individual notes for specific topics and let the computer remember those and synchronize them between my phone and my tablet and my desktop. Now, in this concept, my whole idea has been make simple notes. Like one note is one idea. Maybe I'm out with a friend and he mentions some kind of a website or a service or something that I may really be interested in. I'll just make a note. Oh, Fred told me about this, and I'll put the URL in, and that's it. That's the whole note. Some of the notes might not be any bigger than this slide is right here, or maybe the notes would be your notes would be the entire slideshow could be one note, but then every presentation could be a different note, and every phone call that you make could be a different note, right? July 7th phone call with grandson Robert, or something like that. I also like my notes to be secure, as in they're plain text notes, but they're not just floating out on the internet. They're not on a website. I like them to be secured between my computer and my device. And I might store things like my EIN for my business or the recovery codes to my Gmail account, or maybe you even like store your safe combination or something like that. You don't want to have to worry about those notes going out to the Dropbox engineers, or more likely, because Dropbox is a good company, more likely if there's a malicious actor in the Dropbox network getting into your files and reading what you have, or in iCloud or something, as unlikely as that is, once your notes are secured, you don't have to worry about that. So, how much security is enough security? Well, I break it down into a couple of levels. So we've got the full on paranoid encrypted vault, just like you would with Bitwarden or LastPass or a password manager. We have standard notes. That's the gold standard of encryption. Then you have the idea of having your notes encrypted between your device and the vendor, and the vendor and your laptop, and the vendor and your phone. So that's called end-to-end encryption. So Apple Notes is one of those. Maybe Google Keep is end-to-end encrypted. So Apple can read your notes, Google can read your notes, but a bad actor on the internet can't read it while you're getting them to your phone. And then you have just unencrypted notes, and maybe you just have a bunch of recipes or I don't know, journal entries that you don't mind if they're unencrypted. You could use a service like Simple Note, which is very well done. It's fast, it's very easy to use, it's free. Simple Note is great. It's just not secure. So I wouldn't put my employee identification number or medical record numbers or credit card backup information. I wouldn't put that in Simple Note. And Obsidian is one of those tools. There's a few levels to Obsidian, but a basic level is it's not encrypted. So it's a great note-taking app. It's very powerful, but if you want to store certain information, maybe that's not the right one, at least the free version. Obsidian might have a pay package for that. So the easy way is the way that's locked in. And in the last presentation, we talked about plain text being a viable way to store your data for 20, 50, or probably even 100 years from now. I don't know that Google Keep is going to be a product in 20 years from now or 100 years from now. I don't know that Apple Notes will even be a product in, let's say, 50 years from now. I don't have any reason to believe that Apple Notes will be around for me in 50 years. So it's a great product. Google Keep is fantastic. It's fast, it's easy, and if it works for you, it's great. They're secure enough to be from your device to the vendor, but if you're concerned about the longevity of your data, it's probably not the best way because it's hard to get out. It's difficult to get out of Google Keep. You have to export all your Gmail data. It's a little more difficult to export out of Apple Notes. So then let's look at a minimal security model. So you could use your Obsidian desktop app and you can sync it to iCloud, to an iCloud folder. And I that's going to be a secure connection between your device and iCloud. Apple provides that. And the Obsidian app is going to work on your phone or your desktop. So it's going to have whatever security you decide to put on that. If you put biometrics on your phone and you put a password on your computer, then you'll have a good enough security for most people. That's probably fine. And if you don't mind that Dropbox may have access to all of your files or Apple may have access, it's probably not a real threat to worry about. So this is fine. I used this model for years and years and years, and it was great. But then you have your paranoid syncing model, and this is where